Welcome back, everybody, to Castle Ravenloft here on the Adlington server. Oh boy, doesn't it look mightily imposing. There may be some lag going on in the server based on those flying guys. So I have been hard at work on Ravenloft here over the Christmas season. I've put in about 10 hours of building for this video, plus server updates and the whole JLog or log4j or whatever exploits going on, and server updates and mod updates and plugin updates and just updates galore. But the castle itself is nearing somewhat completion. There's still a lot to do, but a lot has been done. Apparently I missed a light up there too. There we go. So, allow me to give you a little tour of Ravenloft as it stands at episode 4 of the build. We obviously have the main courtyard area. That is not complete yet. Just the bare minimum of the path leading up to the castle has been done. The courtyard itself doesn't have much of a description, doesn't have much information of what's in it on the map, so we're going to be filling that out with our DM mind. And the very front of the castle is nowhere near complete. There's an entire mountain range to build up over in that area. Just doing a quick server reset here, but you can see that I have about 10 segments of footage for episode 4 at pushing an hour long on each, and some even pushing 2 hours. Spoilers down here for future stuff. Just to give you an idea, episode 3 was about 4 hours of work. Wow, the server was so far behind it didn't even save my change over here. Anyway, we will approach the castle here. And we'll come in through the main entryway. This is described as having ornate doors, and I just kind of went with 3 high doors for the lack of ornate doors that we can have in Minecraft. And overhead we have 4 dragon heads, as are described in the adventure module itself. And we enter through these doors here into the Great Entry. In the adventure module, the castle itself is largely described as being a bit abandoned, a bit decrepit, a bit desolate. I've opted not to go for the cobwebs and such like that. We're not going for its heyday, but kind of the start of the end of Ravenloft. Now, this room is described as having 8 stone gargoyles that perch at the top. Gargoyles in Minecraft world, probably creep heads are a good bet. We could replace these with some specific player heads though. And we can pass to the right here through the guest hallway. There's a spiral staircase up there and a suit of armor which appears to be facing the right way. There was a little bug with those. We'll see if we get into some of the other rooms. Into the dining room here. It is described as having an enormous crystal chandelier. Unfortunately, this is even width, so I can't really do that in this room. But the pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls, which support the ceiling. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table is covered with a fine white satin cloth. Unfortunately, I don't have the foods, which are described in the adventure. Nor do I have the large floor-to-ceiling mirrors, but I do have some form of representation of the organ. It's kind of hard to make an organ in Minecraft. I'm not very good at detailing things, I will admit. And I could probably throw in some wood and other such in this too, but it'll work as a stand-in for now. We will exit the dining room, go back to the Great Hall here, and pass through the Hall of Faith. There's a bunch of statues here, and you can see that some of them are facing the wrong way. Every time I placed a statue down and dressed it, it would suddenly turn for some reason, and they would all face the same way. It doesn't seem to be happening anymore, and I'm not really sure what changed. But we can come out here into the chapel itself. I do need to put some patterns in the stained glass window, fix up the ceiling a little bit in here, but it is looking quite nice with the altar over here as well. We can then go through the south chapel entrance here. This should lead to the high tower staircase. It does go up right now. The tower does anyway. The staircase is also meant to go down. Not being constructed yet, but that will be constructed soon. It's basically just a spiral staircase that goes all the way up. There's not much of interest to there. And if we exit the chapel over here and take a right, we can go up these stairs to the Grand Landing. Meant to be a couple of statues there as well. These stairs just come up into the throne room here. The throne room is the least of the completed rooms. I just never ended up putting the ceiling on it. And you can kind of see the rest of the castle expanding above us. Looks kind of cool though. Through what should be double doors here, we have a small room. This is just the guard post here. And continuing on through, we have the dark ceiling of the King's Hallway. That then leads us through to the King's Balcony here, which overlooks the chapel. I was quite proud of this little area. We do need to come through and do a stone randomization pass, kind of like we got going on the outside of the castle walls, just to mix up the textures a little bit. Also need to do a flooring pass and change up the flooring from just being the plain stone. We could also head back down the King's Hall. Once we get back down to the audience hall, we'll take a left, and through this door here we have the accountant office. This room is meant to be piled high with chests and barrels and scrolls, books. There is some more detail to add in here, but it has the basic necessities in here. We can come through this door here. This hallway, a little bit of creative liberties on it. The staircase, just the way it spiraled up and the way it fit in here, and also a secret trap on the other side of this wall. Just kind of had to make this narrow hallway here. But this staircase just spirals back down and leads us back to the great entrance hall here. Back up in the audience hall, if we go back through to the guard post, this should be a secret door here. But then through here we have kind of like a little hospital area. It's the Maid in Hell room. It's got these gross stained beds. As far as I know, this is where the maids would sleep in the castle. There is also a staircase here, which leads up to the king's living quarters. We do have some statues along which need some dressing here. This also leads to the giant spiral staircase in the very middle of the castle here as well. This glass will be removed eventually, just for ease of marking out the inside of the circle it's been here. In this room off to the side of the hallway we have the study. Got a large fireplace over there, some bookcases. This will be another spiral staircase coming up to this room eventually. Through here we have the rather ornate king's bedroom with a window which overlooks not much because the walls are really high in Castle Ravenloft. But the bed is big, and there's another secret passageway over there. This should eventually be the king's bathroom here. That will need some work, obviously. And then coming back out into the study and heading this way, we have the dining room over here. Again, another window, which looks out at not a lot. We can come off of the dining room into this spiral staircase here. We will take this up. This also goes back down to that same area before the accountant and such. And this comes up into some of the guest and sort of prisoner apartments. A little wardrobe over on the end here. Little bed, barred window, and a lockable door. Well, lockable in the adventure, not lockable in Minecraft. We can continue up this spiral staircase here, which gets a little thin just for how the spiral worked out. Apparently I miscounted when I constructed these floors, and the spirals were about 2 shorter than they had to be, so I just kind of made them go out kind of wide and thin to fix that. This up here I believe is for more like the witches and such who live in the castle. There's a little kind of brewing area and such in here. And some nice windows, which get a bit more of a view because they're above the walls. Coming back out and following the staircase all the way to the top, we come to one of the unlit areas of the castle. But this is just a nice tower which overlooks most of everything we can see here. It would be nice to download this map and do like a chunky render and get some real far render distances, especially when we have the town of Bravosia built as well. Would be interesting to see. This tower here is that one that we were looking at in the chapel, the one that should be spiraling all the way to the top. It literally just goes up and then goes down. But we can cross back through here. This will eventually continue its spiral up as well, and we would have the Heart of Sorrow built here. No idea how I'm going to tackle the heart yet. Haven't done it. And I think I'm probably going to turn this staircase into stone. It's more described as stone in the material. And then we can come out onto the castle walls and the parapets. Wander around here. Get a view of the chapel from this side. A view of the iconic towers. And continue running around looking at various parts of the castle. There are some things I haven't shown you. Little guard towers and archery points inside some of these. Some of the other secret passageways, haven't shown you those. There's also a treasure room and a bell room hidden above the chapel, which can be accessed like this. If you go look at the maps of Ravenloft, you'll see how it's done and where it is. But there should be a little air of mystery in this video. Just a little bit of a bell tower here, and a treasure room, which is meant to house some kind of portable fortress, something. But again, Minecraft, we're very limited in what we can detail. And over here we have one of the iconic traps of Ravenloft. This should fall down all the way to the basement cellar levels. Those are yet to be built. Like I said, we do have a lot more left to do on the castle itself. But I've been working on this video for a good 10 to 11 hours now. I've pushed it back already, probably by about a month, and I want to release it. We will be doing another video in this series. We'll have to do, well, at least one, because we've got to continue some of the landscaping, build out at least a little bit of the mountain over this side, complete the cellar and basement levels, also do some more of the courtyard detailing there, doing the servant quarters, which don't have detail yet, and the stables down there as well. And also this balcony, which overlooks the city, or the village of Bravosia. If you are on the Adlington server and you would like to come tour the castle of Ravenloft, you can use Warp Ravenloft. The Adlington server open to patrons and Twitch subscribers of the Adlington channel. Stay tuned for the next video in the Ravenloft series. I think we're going to make some changes to how we operate the server here. Just kind of ironing out some details. I am hoping that I can get the rest of the castle built here in the next couple of weeks to release a video in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, we have 12 Minutes, God of War, Katamari Damacy, Vampire, and some board game playthroughs happening on the channel. Also opened up a second channel for board game tutorials. That is linked in the description below. I would appreciate at least subscribing there, then I get the vanity URL and start monetizing those videos. Thank you very much for watching this video on the Adlington server. I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks with a much more finished Ravenloft. Until then, have a good day. Bye-bye.